Well, there you have it. England finally had their first win in Australia in 15 years. As Australian, I'm embarrassed. I'm disgusted by the performance that we put out on the field in this Boxing Day test. What a tradition of Boxing Day test is, and that's the type of garbage we dished up. But props to England. So without further ado, let's get into recapping the Boxing Day test. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Up the Guts podcast. Joining you as always is your host, Trent Dialton, and another test that was decided in just 2 days. While it was entertaining, the performances out in the park was disgusting. The batting was disgusting. I get it. The curators left 10 mil of grass on the pitch, but we saw if you got in, there was chance to make some sort of runs. If you just battled hard. The Australians and England, to be fact, through individual players through their wicket ways with disgusting shots. Like Cam Green, for example, Usman Khawaja, Ben Duckett, Marnus Labuschagne just threw their wickets away with stupid cricket shots. And a tradition of the Boxing Day test, as I said, like why was it entertaining watching the wickets fall down? If you're watching it from a batter's perspective and a test match perspective, it is not great viewing, and I know greats of the games are fuming. So let's start off with reviewing the first innings. Obviously, England won the toss and elected to bowl first. Seeing the grass on the wicket, thought it would be the best opportunity to bowl first. No spinners being played, and there was going to be plenty of movement on there. And safe to say, the first little bit, the Australians looked like, at least the first 6 overs. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but in this Ashes series, we've seen how quickly runs have been piled on. But it looked like they were doing it reasonably easily before they lost Travis Head for 12, and they were 1 for 27, bowled by Gus Atkinson. And then you follow him was Jake Weatherall just 3 overs later for 10. And then no one really put up a fight. And I don't think the England bowlers in the first innings bowled particularly well. Josh Tongue, I thought, bowled brilliantly. I thought Brighton Cast bowled a load of garbage compared to his second innings performance. But other than that, Marnus 6, Steve Smith 9, Khawaja got himself, as I said, you get yourself in the 20s, you've got yourself a start. 20s to 30s is a start. He got himself a start. 29 from 52 before he was dismissed. Alex Carey got a start. 20. Cam Green. It's just a never-ending story with Cam Green. It's the never-ending story. Like, when is Cam Green going to finally live up to his potential that he possesses, but not only that, what the public puts on him? This is, if you ask me, another Mitch Marsh story where we put so much pressure on Cameron Green. We piped him up this much as that all-rounder. We want him to bat 4, but he's just not putting the work back in. Yet to score 100 in Australia. Yet to really fire a shot, in my opinion, this Ashes series. Yes, his bowling has been okay at times, but it's also been garbage at times. The way that we've talked up Cam Green is like he's a generational talent, and he still might be, but he's played about 30 tests now. He is not a kid anymore in test cricket. When are we going to see the Cam Green that everyone keeps talking about, that he's the next number 4, the future captain? Because right now, I am not seeing it. And this Ashes series has been a very poor series for Cameron Green. Again, so ran himself out when he played some nice drives, then ran himself out for 17. Michael Nesta was the pick of the batters for the Aussies. 35, waited for the right ball and put away the bad ball, got 35 and 49. And then Stark won. Jai Richardson was 0-9, Scott Bowen a golden duck. But as I said, I thought Josh Tongue should have been in this side from the get-go. I thought I would have nearly put Josh Tongue over Brighton Cast, in my personal opinion. I thought Brighton Cast, even though he's got the second most wickets this series, I thought he's bowled a lot of trash as well. But then again, you could say he's got the second most wickets, so he does deserve to be there. But Josh Tongue was the pick of the bowlers, without a doubt. 11.2 overs, 5 for 45. Gus Atkinson, 2 for 28 from his 14. Brighton Cast, 1 for 42 from his 12. And Ben Stokes, 1 for 25 from his 8. So they bowled out the Aussies in the first innings for 152 of just 45 overs. And then we thought, geez, the Aussies are definitely in trouble. But England hadn't batted yet. And they made themselves look like the England of old, where Aussies would have been disappointed with that first innings, but they weren't worried going into watching England bat for reasons like this. Crawley, 5. Duckett thrown his wicket away again with a stupid shot. 2. Jacob Bethel, the replacement coming in, all the hype about him, failed. Just 1. Joe Root, duck. Harry Brook. Now, Harry Brook's a very interesting one. I think Harry Brook, when he comes to the wicket, to me, Harry Brook, when he comes to the wicket, the way he plays and the body language he shows, it's just like he doesn't give a stuff at all. And it's test cricket, but he does not give a stuff, and he's going to play it his way or the highway. Sometimes it'll come off, sometimes it won't. 41 from 34. That was illustrated when they were 3 for 8. And the first ball that Harry Brook faced, he dances down the wicket and swings and misses. Like, who are you going to see do that in a one-day game? Let alone a test match. You might see it in T20 if you want to try and put the pressure back on the bowlers, but you're not seeing that in test match. Harry Brook doesn't care that it's a test match. He's going to put it his way, and he doesn't care of what's in front of him or the consequences. That's just how I see it. I'm sure many people see it. Does he care about the consequences? Maybe deep down he does, but the way he does stuff like that, the way he's done it all series, shows he doesn't really care about the consequences, and he just throws it whatever he feels like. Doesn't really value his wicket at times. Just wants to smack the ball all around, and yeah, he's an interesting one, because there's going to be times where it pays off. He's got a very good test record before coming over here. Hasn't done as well as he would have liked over here, but he does have a very good record. So I understand it's going to pay off sometimes, but it just doesn't look like he cares sometimes. Like, that's probably a bit harsh. He does care, but doesn't really have care for the situation of the game is probably a better way of saying it. Whether he'll come out and whether it's a good ball, he's going to smack it over your head no matter. He's not going to respect the bowler. He's just going to go all in, which sometimes going to pay off, sometimes it won't. But it's something he'll definitely look at, I think, post his Ashes series, because it quite hasn't worked over here in Australia, and look and go, next time he comes back over here, am I going to go about it the same way? That's going to be one I think he will look at. It'll be interesting to see when he comes back the next time. I know he's still got one more test, but he's going to go at it again. But it'll be interesting to see when he comes back the next time around, will he play the same way? Ben Stokes, 16. Jamie Smith, 2. Gus Atkinson really did well batting with the tail down the bottom, 28 from 35. But the English only lasted the 29.5 overs before they were bought out for 110. Pick of the bowlers was Michael Nessart and Scotty Boland. 4 for 45 off 10 for Nessart and 3 for 30 off 9 for Scotty Boland. 2 for 23 off 6 for Mitchell Starc and 1 for none off Cameron Green. So going into it here, the Aussies are like, yeah, we didn't bat well, but we backed it up with the ball and we've got a 51-run lead here. Then the second innings began. And we had to, obviously there was 20 wickets falling on day one. Ridiculous. Again, that partially comes down to the curator too. Don't know what he's doing, leaving 10 mil of grass in there. But there's plenty to talk about it. I'm not going to knock a man for just doing his job. But I would like to see less grass on it to make it a bit more of a test match. But that's beside the case. We had to go out and face one over before the end of the day. And they sent out Scotty Boland. And what a roar of the crowd it was when he came in and faced out that over. It even got a 4 off the last ball, which is really good to see. But it was the same again. The only person that looked really good was Travis Head. 46 from 67 and got an absolute beauty from Bryden Cast. That was pretty much unplayable. Beat him all ends up, went around him and clean bowled him. You could see Travis Head even looked at it, giggled and said, what am I supposed to do with that? And there was nothing he could have done. That was just an absolute. But for the rest of them, Scotty Boland, you can leave him out of this because he was the night watchman. But Jake Weatherald, 5. Marnus Labuschagne, again, 8. Now, there's been debate. I haven't properly watched this, so I'm going to go back and watch. I'm going to go back now and pull it up as we're talking here. As the ad's going to pop up here, isn't it? Yeah, the ad's going to pop up. So as we're talking,
more summer. Score
I want to have a look.
With Liquorland, official gold partner of Cricket Australia.
Do I?
There's the edge.
That to me looks like. There's people saying that it didn't carry. So I've just got it up here.
Caught in the confidence.
I want to see if there's a slow-mo replay. Yes, there is. So
and they're just going to check whether it carried.
Let's have a look.
They're not easy. So come forward, allow him to come to him.
That to me looks like
the way it's bobbled up. To me, it looks like it has hit his fingers and bounced up.
A lot of people thought Some people thought it wasn't. Some people thought it was.
Oh, he's got.
But the bottom line is you were given out, and I personally thought it was a fair catch. At the end of the day, Marnus threw his wicket away, and it's another. While he started the Ashes okay, some 50s, but hasn't really fired a shot since, and it's been really disappointing. Steve Smith looked really good at the start, then looked shaky after a while, but was the only one that hung around, 24 not out. Khawaja, again, disgusting shot. With the short ball, top edging down to backward square, was absolutely disgusting. Second ball duck. Carey, 4. Cam Green, again, just hanging his bat. He didn't even need to play at that. This is why I get frustrated with Cam Green. He just has, what's the word? He just has blanks, brain fades where he didn't even need to play at that, but instead he just hangs his bat out there and gets caught behind the wicket for 19. Nessa caught and bowled by Cast for a duck. Mitchell Stark for a duck. Richardson, 7. As I said, I didn't think England bowled particularly well in the first innings, but Australia batted poorly. This was exactly the opposite in the second innings. I thought the English bowled really well, attacked the top of off. In particular, everyone's been harshing him. I've been harshing him, but Bryden Cast, I thought bowled really well. More particularly in his second spell. I thought his first spell was a bit wayward, but in his second spell, he really came on and he ended up picking up 4 for 34 off 11. So a great thing there. Josh Tongue, again, as I mentioned, should have been in there from the start. 2 for 44 off 11. Ben Stokes, 3 for 24 from his 7. And Gus Atkinson, 1 for 20 off his 5. So then that left. So that was after, bowled out for 132 in the 35th over. And then that left them to chase 173, I believe it was. And they looked like they were doing it very, very, very comfortably. Ben Duckett decided to pull his finger out. And while he went out again and after a really good start, just put the Australians back on the back foot and put the pressure back on them. 34 from 26 before he was bowled by Stark. Bryden Cast came in at number 3. Obviously, Ben Stokes sent him out because we know how a pinch hitter he can be. Didn't probably quite work out as he would have liked. Only got the 6 from the 8. But Crawley was good from 37 48. But I thought Jacob Beffel, myself have been a bit harsh with Jacob Beffel, and it's hard not to be when he hasn't got a first-class 100, but yet we're picking him in the test side for the Ashes in the biggest moment in England and Australian cricket. But I thought he showed some calmness and just pure elegant shot play, and he runs between the wickets really well, always looking to score. So I thought this was a really good step forward for Jacob Beffel. After not seeing much of him, failing in the first innings, would have been disappointed with the way he went out in the first innings. To come out and bat like that when the game is on the line and to win the game, wasn't there at the end when he would have liked. Let's have a look. When did he depart? He departed when they still needed 41 runs, but 40 from 46. I thought Jacob Beffel, it's a really good sign, and he can use this to push forward, see if he can get another big score of the SCG, but it's something that England will be very proud about their future. Joe Root only the 15, Harry Brook 18 not out, but at the end of the day, after 32.2 overs, 6 for 178, the England had their first win in 15 years, and I'm not going to be a sore loser. Well done, England. First win in Australia in 15 years. You've outplayed the Aussies. The Aussies, by all means, were disgusting, but at the end of the day, you did outplay them. And you deserve this win because the Aussies didn't deserve it the way they played. They played disgusting. They played in second gear. It's always like, we won the Ashes. We don't care about what happens after that. But okay, you can slow it down a little bit, but not putting performances like that because that is disgusting, and I'm so disgusted and embarrassed as an Australian. Well, there you have it, guys. There is my recap of the short Boxing Day test where England have got the first win in Australia in 15 years, making the series 3-1. Disgusted, as I keep mentioning, as an Australian. But thank you guys for listening and watching along. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to leave a like and comment on this video. Hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. If you're listening to this via Spotify or Apple Podcast, make sure to leave a like and comment. Hit that follow button, turn the notification bell on. Share this off to a mate who you think might enjoy it. And please, guys, remember to leave a 5-star rating. Well, that's going to round it up here, guys. One more test to go. But until next time, I'll see you guys then.